Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a very important market radar for the last day of September 30th, 2015, the last day of the third quarter. All day today we're talking about the potential for a big rally tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, midweek. It's not a Friday, which typically has been a horrendous day in the markets. It is a midday, end of the month, end of the quarter setup here. Now, end of the quarter. You know, we hear about window dressing, we hear some, activity happens, portfolio reshuffling. We're not concerned with that. I think that's a positive because the third quarter is behind us, and the month of September is getting behind us too, and that has been historically the worst month of the year. And now we're entering the best quarter of the year. And also a couple more statistics. This is being the third presidential year in office. And the third quarter going into that is typically very bullish, and it has a good percentage upside on that. So there's a lot of things that we have going for us, but even better than that, as you know, if you listen to Day Trading Radio, we time the markets perfectly when we talk about short-term time frames, longer-term time frames. One of the things I pay attention to is that daily stochastic, that 60-minute time frame, multiple time frames, and we could go back out to that August 24th when I was actually on vacation. We came down that was our last time we got oversold, and from that point on, once we get oversold and we have that multiple indicator, multiple time frame, it was the daily 60 that set up here. We look for that big candlestick. Now I'm just going to zoom out here a little, and like I've discussed this type of setup for the last 3 years, and actually every time we get down to this, I refer back to the last 3 years. The last 2 years on the chart here, and it kind of point out each time that the market has gotten down into that situation where our stochastic oscillator has rotated all the way back into an oversold level. Soon after, we've bounced hard, aggressive, we've made new highs and stuff. Now, yeah, there's an argument that we've broken down to a major trend line here. We've broken down, we had that bounce, and we had that follow through. Now, we pushed ourselves back into a situation where we have that daily rotated all the way back down here. Each one of these vertical lines represents an area where the stochastics got oversold. So we could go back here pretty far as I could go back, and see each time we got oversold, soon after we had a decent rally. Multiple day, multiple month rally. Now, this is also in a very bullish market. Now, there is an argument that we had a correction, or we starting to get into like a bearish phase. If it does, the trade is going to be to the downside. These setups, whenever you have a trending market, it's always better to buy that pullback in a very bullish trending, and better to short the pop or the pullback in a market that's moving down. So there will be discussion on, is this the beginning of a larger pattern that's broken down, and will we continue? Now, the other big focus point is this August 24th low. There is so much negativity out there in the traderverse on Twitter, on different people talking how we're going to retest and break down through this August 24th low, and that could be an indicator in itself. There is a lot of talk about breaking, and we're very close to it. And when that typically happens, as you know, the markets tend to go against the crowd. You can never really go with that type of, crowd psychology, because I love to be the counter trend trader, or not the counter, but the, what's the word I'm looking for here? The contrarian on the overall consensus here. And the overall consensus that we are going to take out those lows. Now, going into today, into the close all day, expected a rally tomorrow. We even expected maybe to start at the end of the day. So we picked up some longs, picked up a little bit more aggressive on some calls, got some SPY. And my call is for a rally tomorrow. A pretty significant rally. Do we get a reverse? Do we flush and take out the lows and then rally? Or do we start off and we just rally? All right, I'm not going to play that game, but I want to call for a rally tomorrow. Again, the daily is set up here. The 60 has been good, and we also have a 60-minute divergence. Now, again, if you've watched the show, we know that our divergence setup is key, and it's one of our best go-to indicators. Now, it's a little bit choppy here. It's a little bit, back and forth. but you can see on the 9.4 and 9.3 stochastic settings down here. You can see that low here when we made these lows on the price, and again this is on the 60. We bounced up a little, we came down, we took out the lows here today, but the stochastics here actually continue to ramp up here. So momentum, short-term momentum is lifted and starting to move back up. And we haven't really, it didn't really turn over today with the market actually coming back down. We also had this very minor trend line that I had in right around 1872, and we tagged that. And that's a harder one to see. It's a very slight trend line. Let's see if we could go back, and if I could pull this all the way back and kind of see it for you. It actually goes slightly higher than the 26th. Well, actually, from the 24th to the 26th, and then out to here. All right, and the candle. The candle on the hourly is very positive. So we have the divergence. We have an okay 60-minute candle which took out the lows. We have an hourly set up. We have a 60-minute up. We have the end of the quarter. We have the beginning of the fourth quarter. And we have all this focus on taking out the lows. All this focus on taking out those lows. So, again, looking for a nice rally tomorrow. We'll take a look at the futures right now. We're holding gains. We're up 2 points right now on the ES. Now, news trumps everything. If there's some news out there that moves this market, that will happen, and that will flush out patterns and stuff, and change the outlook. But if we don't get any news, again, that's the call. Now, there's a few stocks I just wanted to go over to kind of review fast that are setting up for tomorrow's rally. Now, there's a couple of interesting ones. HP has been focused on. It's an HPS setup over the last couple of days. We have a beautiful wedge pattern playing out here, and it's coiled up, and it's a wedge, and we had a nice move today. Held on to most of its gains, looking pretty good. We're in good shape on that. ExxonMobil, also kind of a sideways consolidation and a slow move down here. So we had that positive price divergence. So we're also looking at this oil and gas stocks to actually look pretty good into this. PKG, something interesting. I mentioned it today. There's an underlying trend line of a bigger pattern. A decent candle. I like this down here. So we're going to be focused on this one tomorrow too. See if it comes into play. A couple of traders mentioned RDUS in the room today. It has a nice flag, and it's holding above the 200-period moving average. And that's another thing I wanted to discuss today. When you're kind of figuring out your list of stocks. Now, if you think, it really depends on where you think the market is going. If you think that we're going to break down and all hell is going to break loose, and this is the beginning of the end, then yeah, you're going to have to count these stocks, out of the picture, and they're going to all break down. What happens typically is you get this pullback, and before anything really happens, you have to have the strong stocks pull back too. And a good way of measuring that, and I actually had someone on Twitter send me a link to the recent IBD top 50, and that's a great resource to go to, and I want to show it to you right here. He posted on Twitter on Day Trading Radio Twitter feed, so you can go there and look at it to get the link. Here it is right there, researchinvestor.com. Click on the IBD 50, and it'll go give you the rankings of the IBD 50. Now, I'm only looking at the this is typically you have to pay for this information, so I don't know if they're just giving. I haven't dug deep, but what I did do is just go through each one of these stocks and just take a look at it compared to the market and why they're being ranked up here. This is and I apologize. I always put the I have two things streaming here, and I always put the wrong thing up there. So here it is now. Oh, I hate when that happens. Here's the IBD table. And you can see here the address right up here, but it's on Twitter, so you should be able to get it. And what I do is I just take a look at the top ranking stocks. And these are really good stocks. IB is a great resource. just to find stocks that are trading, because I used to do this all the time. Is in this very trendy market, you look at the quality names and you write them down and you buy the pullbacks. But in this case, when we're looking at the market pulling back here, and again, if we take a look at the market recently, we've definitely broken down from August, broken down underneath the 200 period moving average. We bounced, we came back, we're just about ready to test, but we're way under that 200 period moving average. Now we can start to identify stocks that continue to be very strong, holding above the 200 period moving average. First one on the list there is DICOM Industries. And what's interesting is, you look at these charts. Look at how strong these companies are. This is just a classic uptrending market with a small little pullback. The market holding way above the 200 period moving average. It looks like a good flag. Very nice, very nice. These are the stocks that eventually now started to give away a little. But we needed to see that. We needed to see these leaders kind of break down just a little, and we started to see those break down. So they're overdue. These are going to be some of the bigger bounces, and you can go through those lists. AHS, again, just recently broke down. CBM, that's holding and most of these will be holding the 200 period moving averages. Some of them will not. PAYYC. You can see this one, nice candle. These are all very close to the highs, and it just gives you a nice look at some different stocks. Alaska Airlines is one of the better ones, along with my favorite Southwest. But a nice example of a nice flag. Alaska Air Group looking good. Look at this, just rotating back. It looks like a textbook flag holding the 2050. This is definitely going higher on any bounce. Very nice stock. LUV, also kind of giving us that little flag. It's not as strong as the Alaska Airways, but it is definitely a holding that 200 period moving average and rotated back here nicely. So again, these are these transports are looking pretty good, and there's other stocks on that list that you could go through, but that's the key. A couple other stocks I'm looking for a big move soon. Walmart, WMT, which seems to have been consolidating here sideways, even though the market's been going down. I'm liking that whenever we see that relative strength. The PKG, we did that. The railroads. So the railroads also going sideways here. So as the market's been selling off pretty strong yesterday, the railroads have been hanging in there pretty good. So the CSX, which I do like, did pull back a little bit more, but we're expecting this bounce here. The UNP seems to be looking a little bit better, as it just went sideways. It's holding that trend line. I expect this to kind of move back up. There's other ones, KSU. I haven't looked at that one. That one's I just kind of brushed by. That's not the best of breed there. So transport's looking pretty good. A couple of retail stocks need to bounce. The futures slightly higher this morning, or this evening. Excuse me. This is going out on Tuesday. So tomorrow, again, looking for a nice rally. Should be a very busy one in the on the show and in the chat room. Appreciate all those traders, and for those out there also. We've got a couple good shows coming up. Tomorrow night we have Stock Jock and Roll, or late night, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Traders Sports Show. And then we have Thursday, we have a Trader Spotlight with the great Tight Stops. We'll be sharing his market strategies and stuff. So that's it. I want to get this out. I want to talk about a few stocks we're paying attention to. I like the SPY going into tomorrow, and we're ready for it. So we'll see you in the markets tomorrow, looking for a 2-hour update. 2-hour update. Again, market radar, 2-hour update, very high probability chance of a rally, and that's what we're looking for.